Alright, as promised, I came over from the Apostle Family Cemetery and wanted to show you the Clover Cemetery so I can show you the difference in care that was taken, and I'll also give you a little bit of an idea why I think there's a difference here. So, let me go in here. Now, clearly this is not set up as a historical marker place, high historical marker. This is not a registered historical place, at least in the state of Ohio. And I was here yesterday, and I gotta tell you, I thought at first this was a wall, possibly, that maybe they were saving the stones. These are actual gravestones, and I was a little disheartened when I saw that, because clearly these are very old, and probably come from the earliest parts of the cemetery, which, when I did a little research, and to give you some context here, this stone here, it says 1830 something, but this was a child that only was about a year and a half old. So what I think has happened here is this is the oldest part of the cemetery, and all of these stones had toppled over, and they collected them. But the good news is, and I'm going to put a link in the description of this video, is they did a very good job of documenting everything in the cemetery. It has all of those gravestones, what was on them, the person in the grave. So I'll put that link in there if you want to do some research, because it actually helped me out, because I have an idea of why the cemetery is probably kept better than others. And you can see here, this is a marker for a Civil War veteran, or they could have died in the Civil War. And I'm going to find a better one. Let's go over. This stone is a lot newer and nicer. You can see down here, you have, let's see if I can get a good picture of it. This little marker down here that says GAR. Well, yesterday when I was here, I didn't understand what that meant. I mean, I knew it had something to do, obviously, the Civil War, but I didn't know what GAR stood for. And after my research, that stands for Grand Army of the Republic. So that's a veteran group for the Northern soldiers. And, you know, either family members or that group is taking care of this veteran here. And what tipped me off to that was, I'll go over here to this fenced in part. Okay, this stone right here. So, you can see here that it's Richard Evans, and he was killed in battle November 21st, 1863. He was, I can't tell if that's 28 years or 25 years, but 1 month and 8 days. And he was killed in the Battle of Lookout Mountain. It has down there, I'm not sure what that etching is below that part, but on the link to the website, or on the link to the cemetery, that's how I uncovered, you know, where he was killed in battle, and that led me down the road of the what GAR stood for. But you can see, I mean, these are very old graves, 1864, 1862. You can see here, you know, look at how through the years the markers got more ornate and more ornate. Now, more than likely, these were probably already carved, and then you would just put the name on them and put the date. But you would have to have some money back then to be able to afford a stone like that, especially something as elaborate as this. And you can see, here's a lot of, these are the older stones that have probably fallen over, and we're in this area. But also I can see that a lot of these probably were the same, came from the same family, so that might be a reason for this gated in area. They've actually taken care of it. But you can see there's quite a few. I mean, this was See, there's quite a few Civil War. Oh wow, okay. Gosh, now look at this one. This guy buried here in 1842. He is a veteran of Peter Clover was a veteran of the War of 1812. He was in the Ohio Militia. And you can see down here, his medal says War of 1812. So, you know, we have some veterans from some of the earliest conflicts in our country in here. And so my assumption is a lot of historical groups have probably done a very good job of upkeeping this cemetery between the Clover family that definitely looks like they probably had a hand in some of this. Wow, look at the stone. This stone would have been, you know, it had etchings on the base. Oh, that's a shame. It looks like they tried to do some repair work on it to try to keep it in there. There's 1854. But yeah, between the family and more than likely the family and the veterans groups, that's probably why we have such a 1842, age 3 years, Hiram, 2 months. We've got another one. Now, we have here, we do have GAR. So we have a veteran of the Civil War. I'll have to look at this one. I've not seen this one. He was only 19 years old when he died, and he died August 12 of 1861. I'll have to look at when the Civil War started. This would be interesting to see, you know, how early it started and how he would have fit in. That's very early on in the war. But he definitely has the marker for it. So I'll have to look up Robert R. and son of Ballinger. I'll have to look that up on the website and figure out what that is. But yeah, yesterday I missed the 1812. That would have been a huge. That would have been a pretty big miss. And see again, we have over here. We have a national stone. Oh, jeez. So we have 2 War of 1812 veterans in this cemetery. Here we have Joshua Clover. So it looks like the Clovers here, between the Clovers and the veterans group, they're doing a very good job of taking care of the cemetery and making sure that it doesn't fall into the same state as the Postal family cemetery. It's kind of sad. I guess if the Postal families had more war veterans, their cemetery would have been taken care of a little bit better. But here's one that I saw yesterday. This is actually this individual has 2 stones, so he's really being taken care of here. But August 28, 1865, war was still going on. Well, no, war was over by then. So, you know, I don't know if he was wounded and succumbed to his wounds after the war. But he has 2 stones. So anyway, that is the Clover Cemetery, just up the street from the National Road over there, from the Postal Cemetery. Just about, let's say, 3 or 4 miles apart. And the 2 families did share the same congregation. There are apostles in here. I did see one on the list. So, It's kind of served as a cemetery for the area, it looks like, after that. But that's it. I'll put the link to the to that cemetery list in the description, and take care.